You know, we're inundated with social media these days. So much is coming from all directions and so fast. We thought it was really appropriate to introduce you to a lady who is going to solve all our social media problems. I had the opportunity to sit down over a cup of coffee with her in Burke a while back, and just her passion for social media and her passion for getting it right really made a remarkable impression on me. So I'm going to introduce you to Kat. Come on in, Kat. I'm going to let you tell your own story about who you are and where you've come from, because it's a fascinating one.
A little shorter than the rest. Hi everybody, I'm Kat. I've been running an online marketing agency for over a decade now. I'm not a horse owner, I'm not a stable owner, but I am very passionate about why you are here today. I'm a believer that after a pandemic, so many of my friends, so many of my acquaintances who owned horses, who owned the horse stables, have been stuck in the impossible place. And hearing to them suffer made me want to help them even more. And that's how I got connected actually to Stable Owners Association. If you're not a member, you definitely should be. This is how you collaborate, come together, and create real change. So I really want to share with you today some of the expertise that I bring when it comes to helping small businesses in general, but specific to you, to each one of you. Some of you have horse boarding, some of you have lessons, training, and probably many, many other services that you offer depending on what it is that you do. This will be applicable to you because there's 3 essential online things that you all should be having as a business owners, as people who offer services to other people. Number 1 is you should have a website, okay? When it comes to the website, it seems like such a minuscule thing that makes no difference, but this is your billboard that's there 24/7, that people will be able to find you and see what services you offer. If you offer great services, because you should include some testimonials, some case studies, and really learn about you. At the end of the day, anything online, whether it's social media, marketing, whatever it is, all it is us connecting human to human. Unfortunately, if I were to connect to every single person in this room, it's probably going to take me a year, right? That's a long time. And same for you, if you were to connect to every single person who's interested in getting to know what it is that you do, it's going to take you a very long time, and that's not the purpose of you having a stable. The purpose of you is actually providing the services, right? There's some handouts coming around. I wanted you to just come home with something that you can take a look at after. I know that when it comes to technology and marketing, it can be a lot, and it can be pretty boring. So this is just something for you guys to take a look at later on. And it is what I'm covering right now. Now, on your website, you should really have, obviously, the services that you offer and a little bit of your story at a very, very minimum. There's plenty of places where you can do it very affordably. It doesn't have to cost you a lot of money. You don't have to hire a professional. Nowadays, it's the matter of clicking a few buttons and just typing out the information that you want to provide. But that is a crucial information you should have. Now here's why I pulled this up. As not a stable owner, but having a lot of friends who board their horses, this is one of the services I know people provide. The first thing that they do, as especially a generation that I'd say 35 years old and under, which is next generations coming in who will be your clients, right, is they go on Google and they type in horse boarding near me or Edmonton, Sherwood Park, Strathcona, right? They're typing in the service that they're looking for. If your listing is not there, they will not find you. You just lost a potential client that you didn't even have a chance to have a conversation with or show what it is that you could create for them. Same for horse lessons. It's one of those things that people look for, and word of mouth, of course, is absolutely best way to get a client because they already love you when they come to you, and it really minimizes the amount of clients you can actually get, okay? This will really support you creating a Google My Business listing, and again, on the handout, you will find a little bit of information on how you can do that, right? I wanted to give you the how as well. Some of you will need to create it, some of you just need to go back and really look at what does it say. Does it say that you provide the services that you provide? So many stables, when I looked, it was not clear to me whether they do boarding, or they do lessons, or they are a wrench, whatever that might mean. It's just all kind of popping up, and I have no idea if they provide the service I'm looking for. So even looking at the results here, you can see there's results coming up on the left side, and then you can see a map. Oh, I typed in horse boarding Edmonton. There's not that many, but I bet you anything there's a lot more of you. That seems like not many at all. Like this is maybe 20 places. Where's the rest of the horse boarding places? That just shows to me how many of you just don't have this optimized, how many of you don't list everything about yourself. And so as you go and claim your own listing, whether you create a new one or it might already exist because someone else went and was kind enough to say, hey, there's a place right here in the middle of nowhere where I board my horse, because your clients have that ability too. You can go and claim it by using your phone number or email address, and then you can add more information. And like I said, services, services, services. You really want to focus on the things that people would be searching for. And really encourage your clients to leave reviews. And I know it might be scary. I remember me starting my own business and asking someone to leave a review on Google and not knowing, is it going to be positive? Or this is going to be something I'm going to just have to cancel the whole Google My Business listing about. The really easy way for you to create a little bit of a filter is perhaps get them to fill out a feedback form first, like one of those manual ones. And then you can ask them if it is positive to go and put it on the Google. So that really supported me in two things. Number one is making sure that the reviews people are leaving are positive. So if you look up my business, you'll see there's not very many, but they're all 4 or 5 star reviews. I don't have a 1-star reviews. Number two is it actually supported me in understanding what am I missing when it comes to having conversations with my clients and delivering a service. Don't know about you, I'm not perfect. I wish I delivered a service excellent every single time, but it just doesn't work like that. Sometimes it's the small things, as in forgetting to send them an invoice on time, or maybe I forgot that I promised them a discount and then it didn't show on the invoice, but they paid it anyway instead of telling me. Or maybe they didn't like this one page I created on the website. And that feedback form is the single way for me to start that conversation and have that conversation with someone before it goes public. So really consider creating some version of a feedback form in your businesses so that you can gather that information. And sometimes it's literally adding 5 minutes to your lesson to say something to your clients. Now let's move on to why I actually was invited here. Social media. Who here loves social media? Oh yeah, okay. My fans are here, there's 5 of you. That's awesome. It's about 5% of the audience, maybe 7. And I understand, and here's what I want to tell for those of you who don't like social media, are not comfortable with it, or you're just indifferent. The reason why some of those industries, and I actually listed some that are dwindling down, is farming, some trade companies that are family owned, right? Those smaller ones, the local retailer stores getting replaced with Circle K's, right? You have the local auto shops. Usually you would call your local mechanic to fix anything, and now it's all those franchises. All of those industries are dwindling down, and a big part of that is we just get fed different media. When was the last time you saw a really great movie being put out about horses? Probably quite a few years ago. Nothing in the theaters, that's for sure. And so generation that's my parents, I'm about 40 years old, so generation that's my parents and older, they have had a lot of great movies and television and conversations about farms and horses and local stores, and that was the whole life, is just walking over to your neighbor and asking them for some sugar or some flour, right? That's so non-existent anymore. Kids nowadays, and I don't have my own, but I hang out with a lot of friends who do, they want to dance on TikTok. They don't want a pony anymore. They want to be a famous star on YouTube opening boxes with toys. It's just different. But the truth is, it's because they don't consume anything that is about horses. And part of that is because industries like this one don't show up online. I am forever surprised at how many little kids, like I'm talking 6-year-olds, have an iPad. Man, I got my iPad when I was 37, just as a perspective. And they're 6-year-olds on iPads, and they know how to use YouTube, and they learn how to do math, and all those cool things, and how to build things. But there's nobody creating, I shouldn't say nobody, not very many people are creating content about horses, horse riding. What is it like to go and take a lesson? I sure know, even in my generation, my friends didn't consume this. And so it is your guys' responsibility to start sharing your experiences and what are you doing to engage more of the generations to come to understand what is the attractiveness of actually using those services. And it doesn't have to be complicated, and I know for some of you it seems like a very dreadful topic, social media. I feel you, I do this for a living, I have a whole team, and I don't like posting online. That's just the truth. And I want you to shift it just a little bit. Instead of you creating something to post online, you're just going to document what you already do. There's some ideas on the handouts, but it's as easy as you posting a photo of your lesson. It's as easy as you posting a photo of the sunset at your stable and just saying good morning from, and then stable name. It doesn't have to be complicated. I'm going to give you one more perspective here about social media. I live in Spruce Grove, and in Spruce Grove we have this gas station called Carbon. It's right on the main street. Spruce Grove is just literally one big street, if you think about it. There's not much to it. It's stores on both sides. So I pass it every single time I go anywhere, in town, out of town, to the store, I pass it. And it has been closed for like 2.5 years now. Lights off, they have those windows shut, like it's just closed. Nobody knows what happened, but it's just closed. I want you to think about your social media profiles as that store. If you don't post anything, it sure seems closed. Every time people are scrolling, they don't consciously think, oh, this place is closed, but they don't see you. And if they don't see you, they don't remember you were there. And if they don't remember you were there, they're not coming. They're not looking at your lessons, they're not looking at boarding, they're not looking at anything to do in Alpine community. So you don't have to post every single day, but once in a while just reminds them, hey, open sign, we're here, we're still open, and we still would love for you to come. So that will be the easiest shift that I can create for you when it comes to social media. Just think about yourself as doors open and the open sign lit. Social media should look exactly like that. What can you start sharing that will support your potential clients in actually knowing that you're still there and you still want them to come out? Now, for those of you who absolutely will not touch a phone, maybe you still have a flip phone, I know my mom does. Think about people around you. You know how those kids want to be TikTok stars now? There's also kids who really want to be videographers and photographers, and they want to be people creating those TikTok stars. They want to be behind the camera. Even the simple posting, looking for a 16, 18-year-old who just wants to go into that field of digital media, design, online marketing, will give you someone who you don't have to pay a lot, doing it for you just so they can have you as a part of their portfolio. I have worked with a lot of clients who are over 90, running their little small family-run businesses in the middle of nowhere, and that's what they do. Sometimes it looks like grandchildren, sometimes it's literally a kid around the block who tried to shovel the snow and realized it's a little too hard, so it's easier to pull out a phone and take some pictures, right? So start thinking about creative ways on how you can involve your community, because really that's what it's about. And social media, that's what it is. It is a place for you to create community, to re-engage your community, and really bring them into your world. And show up so that more of the generations to come truly understand the value of what it is that you have. Because you worked really hard for it. Some of you are multi-generational stable owners. And some of those 10, 15, 20-year-olds nowadays, they have no idea what that even means. So it will be up to you to teach them. Any questions? Happy to answer anything technical, or you can just take this with you.
No, but thanks for all the good ideas.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's my pleasure. Awesome. Thank you so much, guys.